Hi, I'm Sholadean Shabio and I'm on the streets of London talking to people about Black History Month. As you well know, throughout the whole month of October, we'll be celebrating that Black History Month. So we have taken to the streets of London to ask people to tell us what do they think about Black History Month and what makes it special. So what do you know about Black History Month?
First I'm hearing that it's actually practiced in England. I knew it was a big thing in America. Except in America it's in February, isn't it? It's around the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. They do it. So I was surprised that it's actually celebrated at a different time here in the UK. And is there a reason for that? Do you know at all? No, it just happens to be the way it turned out. I think it's useful. I think it's important because most people aren't aware. I mean, kids now don't even know about half the things that are going on in the world, despite the fact that we've got the internet and all this information. So I think it's good to be reminded of any history, black, white, whatever color you want to talk about. I just think history in general is important because if you forget the past, you're likely to repeat the same mistakes in the future. And well, humanity's had some pretty bad mistakes in the past that we don't want to repeat. So I think it's important to remind the populace and everyone around that, you know, history is important, whichever race, whichever creed, whichever culture, and we should learn about everyone's history because we all live together.
To be honest, I think they don't do enough Black History Month. I think it should be more than 1 month. It should be every month, and people should need to wake up to the truth. We need to understand that it's a spiritual war, and that this war's not going to stop until the Most High comes down and saves everyone, innit? And us black people, we know that it's real. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's about it.
Absolutely.
I only really know what I was taught at school about Black History Month. That's a little bit of ignorance from my family, maybe. Didn't really educate me. I'm mixed, so I don't know a lot about my roots. But then I think in schools as well, they don't really teach you enough about Black History Month. So everyone knows about Martin Luther King, but what about slavery? What about where we actually came from? So I think, a lot more can be done to celebrate it and to educate. And I think there's a lot of ignorance within the black community about our own roots. Hence, you've got the West Indians and the Africans that don't get along. You know, we're all from the same place. So I think there needs to be more education.
Even David Cameron the other day talking about how Jamaican people should forget about the slavery, but they want to remember about the Holocaust and stuff like that. It's not right. It's not right. So that's one thing I've got to say. It's always going to be relevant because we're black. It's stuck with us for life. It's always going to be relevant, to be honest.
Do you think we should still celebrate Black History Month with all the information that we know about our history?
I think we need to know more. People don't know enough. So we do need to celebrate it every month it comes or whatnot. Or the times they give us to celebrate. You know what I mean? We still need to, it's relevant, man, it's relevant. That's all.
Okay, you sound like a very knowledgeable person. Are there any sort of sites, books, directions that you want to give us to go to?
Yeah, follow my Twitter, Richie DLR. My Snapchat, no, I'm joking, forget all of that, I'm joking. But yeah, that's enough, man. I'm alright, man. Okay.
I think, for me, my favourite film was Roots. So I think they did show it to us in school, parts of it. But I think it would be good if they made a modern day, maybe a newer version of it as well. Because it is a little bit outdated now. And so with all the technology that's going on, kids these days, they don't want to sit down and watch an old film. So I think they could maybe make a newer version, and that would be good as well. Okay,
what was the effect that it had on you when they showed you Roots at school?
Just like what we went through to get here, to be freed from slavery. And it opens your eyes because
Okay, how did that make you feel?
Sad that it's happened, but it's part of our history, it's a part of life, and we can only try and work together and be one rather than be West Indian, African, Somalian, whatever. We need to be one. And I think definitely black people in the community, if we knew more about our history, there'd be less violence and less negativity in our own culture and race. Yeah.
Okay. So why is Black history important?
Because we are important, and the most important. Before history, there was Black history. And otherwise, when it comes to black people, a lot of the things that are about what we actually live in society are actually taken from history at this point in the day. So everything to do with black people is to do with every other history, every other culture, and everything like that. So before you have to know what everything is, you have to know about Black history.
Okay, so do you think that we should continue to celebrate Black History?
Of course, of course, of course. There's a point where we say that people that choose to, or black people that think that it's not right to love yourselves is a wrong thing. But why can't we choose to love ourselves? Why can't we actually have a black history? Why can't we have more things to do with black people and churches and societies and whatever, like how every other race does? When it comes to it, just because you choose to love yourself, that shouldn't have to mean that you hate other people. That doesn't mean that at all, just because you choose to love yourself. So, right, definitely, we need to have more black stuff, because otherwise we are the power, man. Ethnicity is the majority, not the minority. Guaranteed.
Well, I came here 1955, and and the problem that we had in this country as Caribbean West Indians coming into this country at that early age, very difficult for us. And so over the years, people begin to talk about the history of the black people, what we came upon, like the boats we came upon, and the things like that. And I would say it's a good thing that we are being, what should I say now, listened to or accepted in a way for our culture, our history of black people that wasn't recognized all those times. So I'm very happy, and I have a daughter that is born here, and she's into the Black History thing as well. So every time the Black History Month come up, she have like a party or something to do with it, and people go, and the history of the Caribbean and other black people in this country are being recognized. So I'm very happy for that.
Good. Now, with so much information about Black History Month, you know, we can go to the books, we can go to the internet now, we can see so much history about, you know, the history of the black race. Do you really think that the Black History Month in this country, or, you know, Black History Month as, you know, as a month is relevant in today's society?
Yes. Especially for the young black people that born in this country, that don't know anything about the Caribbean people or the people black people in the whole, and what we suffered and I think it's a good thing that we keep this thing alive, that they can benefit from it and know their culture and know where they're coming from.
Yeah. So what do you know about Black History Month?
I know that it shouldn't be a month. That's what I do know about it. I know that it's a celebration of all the contributions that black people have made to forwarding and advancement of the world, really. It's not necessarily just one country, it is the whole world, and basically whatever contribution we have made as black people are being celebrated only in October, unfortunately.
Okay, so do you think that we need to continue to celebrate Black History Month with all the history that we know about the black race? Do you think that Black History Month is relevant?
It's always relevant because all our contributions are always relevant. They're relevant every day. I think that, yes, it should still be celebrated, mainly because it's awareness, it's raising awareness to other people, not necessarily for ourselves. A lot of our people already know the contributions that we make and appreciate and honour them anyway. So this month isn't necessarily for black people to celebrate black people. It's for everybody else to celebrate black people. So yes, I still think Black History Month should be celebrated by all people. And I think that it should continue to grow because it raises awareness to everybody about the contributions that we make in society and have made in society. So yes, I do.
So what do you know about Black History Month?
I don't know about Black History Month. I never knew about it, that we have a month that is dedicated to the black history.
Okay, so now that you do know, or you are aware that we have a Black History Month in this country, which is in October, do you think that is important?
Yes, I think it's very important, that is fundamental, because the black history usually is not taught in a school, and black people, like any people in the world, have a very important cultural message to give. So for me, I think it's very important to have the Black History Month, even to stop the stigma that we have for the black community. As a person of color, we have the prejudice. So this help to stop the prejudice that black people suffer. So it's very important to have the Black History Month.
I know Black history passed about 400 or 500 years ago. Black people, they all come from Africa side, and because they're in the British Empire, they all conquered India, Africa, and a couple of countries in Africa with diamonds and that. So most African people, they all come from, most black people, they all come from Africa. They should never forget their past. They should never look at what they now, but they should think about what they have been through to be the situation they are in.
Yes, of course. For Black history, it's not for the yesterday or it's not today. It's the more generations, more than 500, 600 years ago. So at the moment, they are development for the young generation of the most of them black people. So the black people, or young generation, or at the moment, the development, business, history, education, more businesses, more educations, a lot of things for development at the moment.
Clearly, we've spoken to a number of people today about Black History Month and what it means to them and how important Black History Month is in the black community. People have given their verdicts, and nevertheless they've shown us that we should continue to celebrate the Black History Month and to continue to be an important people in our communities and across the world. My name is Sholadin Shabio, and this is Voice of the People.